Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood Pants is back with another video. Today I want to take a look at Clara, Savannah, Tesarion, which is a relatively common defense right now. Kind of took the place of Clara, Savannah, Theo, and kind of figure out what kind of offenses we can bring into it when we can't outspeed the Clara. So here we have a Galleon Tiana Cleave, which can handle it just fine. You know, you outspeed, you land some defense breaks, and then your AoE damage doer. In this case, I got Triss because we're doing our Witcher collab event right now, so might as well showcase this girl. She kind of smacks. Been a fan of her ever since pulling her. Already threw in some skill ups. Not max skilled yet, but I'm sure we'll get there since there's plenty of 4 stars of her. But anyways, she hits hard. She's kind of like a Chun Pung minus the cooldown reduction. Replace that with branding and glancing. Anyways, what kind of offenses can we bring when it's turn 2? So here are some that I've come up with and got suggestions from guildmates and stuff, and been doing a lot of testing with them. Some of them you'll see they say 100% win rate. They're not 100% win rate. You know, if you test it plenty, they're gonna lose. That's just how it is. But we'll go in through each one of them. Let's just start from the top. Josephine, Mei Ho Wang, and Rakuni. So the general idea behind a lot of the offenses are basically to bring in monsters that don't care about Clara's turn 1 debauchery that she brings on, right? Clara's gonna be an AoE strip and stun. I'm using a Despair Clara here on the defense just to try and guarantee the worst possible outcome, because Swift Clara will outspeed, but a Despair Clara can outspeed, right? And we're bringing turn 2 teams on purpose, so I just want like the worst possible RNG. That's the goal. So here's the defense runes I guess I should show. Violent Nemesis on the Savannah, decent amount of attack there. And then here's the Tesarion, 239 speed breakpoint exactly, 80 crit rate, okay accuracy. Nothing special. There's plenty of, you know, plus 150, much higher speed with the same amount of attack Tesarions that'll hit harder, but it's an okay Tessa. My runes on Josephine is just leftover fatal runes. It's strictly for world boss. That's why it's just like real stat heavy. You can see plus 40k HP, plus 800 attack, plus 1000 defense. Nothing crazy on the speed. The stats make no sense. I'm sure you can find a much better like violent build, but we're going with Fatal Guard for world boss. And then we have Mei Ho Wang here. Could use some more speed, could use more crit rate, could use more accuracy. He's a pretty stat-hungry unit, but there's my Mei Ho Wang. And then Rakuni, 239 speed, 100 resistance, okay HP. She's a 3-star unit, so it's just low base stats, you know? So she's kind of hard to rune as far as that goes, but it's just speed, HP, speed, HP, defense. Try to get 100 resistance, that's the goal. Overall strategy is to get stunned, hopefully. That way you proc Josephine's passive, and she can steal the turn, right? So once she steals the turn, with that accuracy lead, hopefully we can strip and provoke the Tesarion. That's the ideal scenario. So we've totally reverse Uno card, you know? It's supposed to be that they have you AoE stunned and then defense broken and stuff turn 1. But you can see not a lot's happened so far, and their whole team is stunned. So that's kind of the goal. And then you kill Tesarion as quickly as you can because he's the main threat. Once Tesarion is dead, it's pretty much GG from there. Now, how do you lose? Well, they can still kill your Mei Ho Wang, you know? Like, it's just violent procs. Violent procs will kill you. I think the biggest thing is, like, if you don't land that strip and provoke turn 1, then Tesarion could just, like, target Mei Ho Wang with skill 2, land defense break, and then violent proc and kill him like real early with you having like no chance to recover. Just like a single proc from Tesarion is generally enough to kill most people, so that's the big deal. But we get the win here. That brings us to 10-1 in our testing. You know, 91% win rate for a turn 2 team, not too shabby. All right, so for this next one is Rika, Yanhua, and Hegang. Again, we got a couple monsters here with these passives that kind of don't care what Clara's going to do, or even better yet, like welcomes her strip, right? If you strip, then Hegang will steal the turn. So monsters that steal the turn in accordance to what the defense is trying to do are good. You know, if you're playing turn 2, those are good things. Yanhua is just a kind of a unique wind tank. She's got the 30% innate wind reduction, or not wind reduction, but like damage reduction, which is really nice. But of course, Tesarion can like Oblivion, and once he Oblivions, then that goes away. But she has her song, and her song will make it to where they get the attack debuff whenever they take their turn. So, like, even though you don't get the 30% reduction if she's Oblivioned, at least you get the attack debuff, which weakens their attack a whole bunch. So, you know, it's kind of a failsafe in a way. So, attack debuff on the Tesarion, even though she's defense broken. She didn't have Oblivion during that hit, but you see, like, not a lot of damage was taken there. And we'll play her song again. And let's just keep working on the Tessa because he has no dots on him. As far as turn order goes, you want to make sure that Hagang moves before your fire damage doer. That's like the main thing. The 2 losses I have with this offense were before I moved runes around to make that happen. So I feel like this one's pretty safe. But yeah, it was like the Tesarion still had his immunity up and Rika was moving. And I'm like, wait a second, I thought Hagang was going to move. But no, my Hagang was way too slow. And so I had to move runes around to make sure that Hagang moved so he could do the strip and then Rika could do what Rika does. If you don't have Rika, a good alternative is Helena, the Fire Unicorn. And I think I forgot to show my runes, but Despair Will on the Hagang here. I have this double will endure set on Yanhua. There's no reason for double will really. You see I don't have her max skilled yet, but 100 resistance, kind of like Rakuni. You just want her tanky 100 resistance. And then Helena, more difficult to rune than Rika in my opinion. You know, you gotta have the 100 crit rate. This is lower accuracy than I would like. Anyways, could definitely be a lot better. I've been farming the left side artifact a lot more lately. Now that we have the Abyss versions, we can get some good artifacts relatively easily. I mean, most of them are going to be garbage, but gotten a lot better artifacts than years past, so I'm happy with that. I just noticed my Helena moved before, but he still had his immunity up, so I think I wasn't paying attention, but I think what happened is I didn't get stripped, and so Hagang didn't steal the turn. I'm gonna have to redo this one because I'm not sure what happened. I was talking and not paying attention. That's the whole multitasking thing, right? My brain cannot handle multitasking. It's like impossible to walk and chew gum at the same time. I gotta stay focused on tasks. Here I am trying to be a YouTube video game commentator. Stupid. But it's fun. Alright. Anyways, pretty comfortable win here. Let's do it one more time. I want to see that turn 1. I mean, I guess I can leave early. Obvious win here, right? Okay, so he still had his immunity. So because he resisted, he did not get that 20% boost from that second part of the effect. And only Helena got the 20% boost. I think that's what caused it. It didn't seem to matter, but I'll say, again, the only 2 losses that I did have, so I guess we can do the 23. The 2 losses that I did have were from when my Hagang was much slower than Rika. So that's just something to note. Been playing with the Yanhua a lot. One of my guildmates swears by it, but I don't know. I'll show you this little more free-to-play friendly version of this offense, and you might see why I kind of disagree with them. So we got Tesarion, Yanhua. I built a second one because I do like her. I think she's good, has a lot of utility. This one's quite a bit slower, but quite a bit tankier too. Nearly plus 30k HP, plus 1420 defense, an enhanced set just cause only 1 will set instead of 2. And then Tetra for some cleanse and healing. Could probably use Lulu in that spot as well. I think the idea with Tetra over Lulu though is like, if she's stunned, it's still gonna happen. Goodness, my standing desk there just fell. Fell a little bit anyways. But yeah, if Lulu's stunned, she literally does nothing. Whereas when Tetra is stunned, she at least does something. So that's kind of the big difference. All of my losses have come from turn 1. Basically, Tesarion gets defense broken, and their Tesarion, the defense Tesarion, kills mine on the first turn, like before I move. So if that happens, there's no coming back. Tetra and Yanhua are not about to 2v3 these guys. They're going to get absolutely wrecked. That's just how it is. If that doesn't happen, though, pretty likely you're going to recover just fine. So here we had a very comfortable win. They went for Yanhua, not Tesarion, which is what you want. And we killed their Tesarion first. You for sure want to kill their Tessa first. That's like the main threat. Then you can kill the Savannah and save Clara for last. Maybe if I'm trying to think, maybe the goal would be to have your Tessa closer to 100 resistance, like if you could rune him at 59 resistance, and then your Yanhua just be at the base 15, just go for max like HP and defense, and then be at 15% resistance. Still run the Tessa lead so she has some resistance, but that way you're like maximizing the chances that Tessa doesn't get defense broken and she does. That way, you know, Tessa targets her. So this will be interesting. So she died turn 1. Can I come back from that? I mean, I feel like ideally you don't want anyone to die turn 1. So I don't know. Looks like we're going to be fine though. Yeah, there's no way Clara Savannah win this. So even if Yanhua dies turn 1, I think you're going to be okay. I'm not going to Clara definitely win, but like unless Savannah pops off, we should be fine. Yeah, no shot. So it's really just if Savannah dies turn 1, that's how all of them have been. And I mean that 4 times in power test, so it can happen. I'm going to fix my guess. Alright, this next offense, unlike the previous ones, isn't like passives that don't care if they get stunned turn 1. It's just like super water sustain offense. I don't know what to say other than that. Like, I don't know what would need to happen for it to lose. It hasn't lost yet in testing, but I mean, it's one of those things where like if you hit the record button, you're gonna lose. Like just for example, the previous offense, I had a previous recording that got corrupted, so I had to redo it, but that recording had 2 losses in a row. So of the 4 losses, it was 2 of them were from that recording. So that's just how it is. I don't know why that is how it is, but if you hit record, probably gonna lose. But this offense, I don't know. I feel like I could probably auto with this offense and it would be fine. Like, how do they... There's so much sustain. There's defense buffs. There's immunity. There's self-healing. There's self-cleanse. And there's a decent amount of damage from Manon and Camila. There's the revenge stuns. There's built-in violent procs. It's like... feels foolproof. But I guess there is some possibility of like... So Clara is unlikely to crit, right? So she could... strip and stun. So let's say she lands everything on everyone, and then Tesarion like goes after Camila, lands the Oblivion and does not land a crit, so just lands the Oblivion. It doesn't get cleansed or anything, and then Savannah just pops off. I mean like skill 3 lands defense break on everyone, and then like Violent procs skill 2 into Camila. Violent procs one more time, finishes her off, and suddenly it's 3v2. Playing all this in my head like maybe that's a possibility, but I don't know. It seems very slim of a chance for all that to happen, because I do think, unlike my Tesarion offenses, where like if Tessa Violent procs one time, that is enough to kill someone. I mean, we saw that previously. He was able to kill the Wind String Master with just a single violent proc turn 1, and then it was 2v3. Still ended up winning, but like I don't think Savannah can kill Camila with just a single proc, or at least mine couldn't. So I think she would need 2 procs, because I have like wind reduction on the artifacts and stuff too. Anyways, it seems like it's really safe. That's 9-0 now. Let's move on to the next one. All right, here's kind of a fun one. Kind of reminds me of old school shield will offenses. You don't see shield will offenses as much these days, but Vrad, Annabelle, Lulu, I don't even have a shield set, but it's just a turn 2 cleave-ish kind of team, but with a little extra sustain, a little more CC. But I used to run this like Varad, Annabelle, Diana team back in the Gene meta days, for example. I think I'll do the heal and cleanse and then throw up immunity. I think that's the play here. And then we'll just skill 1 over here. And then skill 3 without defense break, kind of sad, but we'll go for it. And some more, a little fatter damage that time. I don't have him on like a rage set or anything, so don't expect him to have super high damage. It's more so just the CC, the attack bar reduction, and then lots of sustain from Annabelle and Lulu. This one also hasn't lost yet. I feel like it's not as safe as the previous one though, because there's like a higher likelihood that they could get a turn 1 kill on someone. None of these guys I have are ruined particularly tanky. Vrad especially, like he's got high defense, but if he gets defense broken, you know, 1 proc from Savannah probably gonna kill him. So I don't think it's as safe as the previous team, but it's not too shabby, and it's definitely a faster win. You know, Vrad's got AoE damage, Annabelle's got AoE damage, and relatively... Oh, look at that. 1 violent proc with the defense break. Did not die. Almost died, but I did not die. She would have needed 1 more. I mean, damage fluctuates a little bit every time, and then someone could have a better rune, Savannah, that actually does get the kill. So that's what I'm saying, like, probably not 100% win rate. Not as high as win rate as the previous offense, but I think it's okay. I think it's pretty good. All right, so this next one is Tesarion, Lulu, Wendy. Another free-to-play offense we got. I do like Wendy into Clara because of the shield he gets as soon as he gets touched. It kind of helps you to survive the potential of turn 1 debauchery. That said, I have lost with it because, again, there's no possible way to stop a turn 1 strip defense broken Tesarion into Tesarion violent procs. Exhibit A. Like, there, you can't prevent that. You just lose. And like, really, that's kind of a negative effect with having Wendy here is like, since Wendy can't get defense broken and Tesarion can, if Savannah lands that defense break, Tessa will for sure target Tessa. He's not going to target Wendy. But ideally, this is the setup, right? We'll have this setup where, like, yeah, you get stripped, but the defense break doesn't land because Savannah's targeting a fire monster, or I mean, she's AoE, so it's not really targeting, but hitting a fire monster and hopefully not landing that defense break with the resistance lead and everything. She's also a pretty difficult monster to rune, so to get high accuracy on her, a little troublesome, though people could get it from, you know, skill 3 accuracy on the artifact, for example. The shield from Wendy can be helpful. Maybe their Tesarion doesn't have as much damage as mine, something along those lines. If you could get high fire reduction on your Tesarion, another way to kind of boost the amount of safety of the offense. But, you know, turn 1 is just it's scary. You can get killed turn 1 and then you lose, and it's sad. But if you don't get killed turn 1, it's pretty much GG from there, because you're gonna Oblivion their Tessa, defense break their Tessa, just kill their Tessa as quickly as possible, and then next up is Savannah is dead, and then down to just Clara, and they got no shot. So survive turn 1, you'll probably be okay. All right, here we have a new to me second awakened monster, Nickel. Put on Despair runes because of this skill 2 being AoE. Can't be stunned, which is nice. Also can't be dotted. I originally built Nickel to bring into Nora defenses. Wanted to try against Nora, but I'm not seeing Nora as much as of late, so it kind of bummed me out. I'm like, built this monster for Nora, and then where's she at? And then we got Amelia for some cleanse and defense buff, which is real nice for both of these monsters, for Nickel and Abellio, who have defense-based damage. He's just on leftover runes. Obviously, these runes aren't particularly great for him, but that's okay. I haven't lost with this offense yet. Here, rather than targeting Tessa first. It's more so, I think, just targeting where the defense breaks land, because his skill 2 is a AoE 3-turn defense break, so it's like, dang, that hit hard. That was close. I mean, if you violent proc there, that would have been it, right? So it just goes to show, definitely not 100%, even though it's 100% for me so far. One proc right there, that could have done it. What is nice is, like, even though he crit there on the water unit and nearly killed in one hit, didn't kill in one hit, but nearly did. Abellio doesn't steal the turn, but does get full attack bar, cleanses himself, and then can go into the heal, which is all really nice. Can we get a stun? No stun. But we can get some defense buff, and hopefully Nickel can survive whatever hits are coming his way. Maybe we can get a freeze here. No freeze. Nope. Well, this is probably going to be my first loss. I don't think I can come back from that, because, I mean, you saw my Abellio runes. He does not have high damage. It's not like my RTA Abellio. This is just like leftover runes, kind of high HP Abellio, nothing special. Yeah, that's GG for sure. Got the Oblivion on Amelia and defense break well. I say that. Maybe I can get lucky. Nope, definitely not. Alright, we'll call that GG. Oof. Oh, but we got a missed crit that time. So he got the violent proc. So good RNG on their part for that, but didn't get the crit. And then I get the heal. Can we land some defense breaks or some stuns? Landed one defense break on the wind unit. Absolute garbage. I think you should go for Clara first if you have the option between the two, because she is the strips and we don't like strips. I do wonder if someone other than Amelia would be better. Maybe like Wusa. You lose out on the defense buff and the cleanse, but you get some more damage and heals. I'm not sure. I do like the idea of Abellio though, because like he won't steal the turn 1 necessarily, but like if they get enough damage, then he's gonna kind of steal the turn. He does the full attack bar thing, right? Just big fat heals. I could also, like, if I was really concerned, like the siege was super important, we're going into tourney if we won, or, you know, something like that, then I'd probably move runes to make him, like, suck less. Ouch. Ouch. Calm down there, man. Well, you see, this is why I say to kind of follow the defense buff, though, because, like, Tessa was here when Clara was here, or whatever their healths were at, but he was defense broken, so that's why I use skill 2 from Abellio, which actually does hit hard onto the Tessa. If Tessa was still high health, I probably would lose this, but since I actually brought him down close to 0, even though my Nickel is dead, I think I'm fine. There's probably other better AoE defense breakers that are water, like Annabelle. I mean, we did Annabelle earlier. Could do Annabelle instead of Nickel, and then you get the crit rate lead for Abellio too, which would be nice. A little more cleansing and whatnot. Because the not being stunned part of Nickel's passive really isn't that great. I more so like him because of his stuns, like that turn 1 stun, and then being on Despair runes. I've had a lot of success with him, just like being good CC. I don't have great accuracy on him. I think it's like 40% or something. So the defense debuffs are not landing nearly as much as I would like them to, but that's all right. Still got the win here. So went 1-1. Again, that's what happens when you hit record. So here we are, 9-1 on this guy. So our best one is Manon, Ilea, Camila, then Varad, Annabelle, Lulu, though that one has much lower amounts of testing. Then our Yanhua, the gang Rika or Helena, then Josephine, Mayho, Angrakuni, then Amelia, Nickel, Abellio, Tesarion, Lulu, Wendy, and lastly, I have that Tessa, Yanhua, Tetra team. That's what I got. Love to see what you guys use against this defense as far as turn 2 teams go. I know you can Galleon, Tiana, Cleave. You can probably like Garrow, Rauk, Cleave, different kinds of cleaves you can do into this offense or defense that are probably safer than all of these. But I do like this guy. I bet you like Aerial. I don't own Aerial, but Aerial would probably be a good one into it. Just like these really heavy water sustain teams. Anyways, that'll do it for me in this video, guys. If you have any particular defense you want me to try and find counters for, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I think the next one I plan on doing is Chandra, Zen, plus an LD. I see that one pretty frequently. Zen is kind of disgusting. Whenever you first released, it was like, what are they thinking? This is the weirdest, dumbest unit ever. And then a couple buffs later, and suddenly he's pretty frequent on defense now. So, and yeah, that's it. See you all in the next one, guys. Bye.